The viewership for the Oscars has been released, and yeah, it's pretty bad. Did you know the Oscars happened? Yeah. They came and went like a wet fart, didn't they? Just gone. Just gone. Just leaving a sleazy trail of nonsense in their wake. The Oscars. The Oscars. So the ratings are down. Okay, the viewership is down massively. Not really a surprise, is it? Let's be honest. Hollywood sort of embodies everything that I guess American voters voted against recently. So it's not really a surprise that majority of America checked out from the Oscars. And it's fascinating to compare 10 years ago, 11 years ago, what the Oscars used to get ratings-wise. Mad viewership by comparison to now. So we're going to take a look at, hit subscribe if you're new here. Do turn those bell notifications on, especially if you're a returning viewer that's not yet subscribed. There's about 50% of you, so hit that subscribe button. This is just over on World of Real. They've just got the article here that I thought I would pull from. But Oscar ratings are down. 18 million viewers. It's not good, is it? I mean, as a number, it sounds high, doesn't it? It sounds good. It's not really when you compare that it used to have like 44 million viewers. Not good. Not good at all. So, no surprise. I like how they're like, no surprise. Ratings for Sunday night's Oscars ceremony were down by about 7% from last year. Around 18.1 million people tuned in to the telecast. I mean, I think it's crazy, actually, that it was, down so much. I thought it had sort of capped out at what it was before. But, yeah, no, it can go back lower again. It can go back lower again. And as they say here, isn't it amazing how in 2014, just a little over 10 years ago, Oscar ratings reached an impressive 44 million viewers when compared to last night's telecast. That's a loss of 26 million set of eyeballs. That's mad. That's crazy. And what was the opening? What was the opener for the Oscars? I think this perfectly exemplified it as well. They had some dumb crap Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, wicked nonsense. Which, yeah, fine, sure. It did all right. But my God, people hate Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande because of their interviews. Like, them being on stage again. Oh, my God. Again, it embodies everything that people had voted against recently. Hollywood and the Academy is the embodiment of, just sort of left-wing progressive values overall, right? They take orders from on high in terms of BlackRock, right? Drip feeds it down into the Academy's nomination list in terms of how movies can even get nominated, right? Which then drips it down even further into funding, right? Oh, you must have a gay, black, trans, lesbian in there. You're like, all right, sure, that's dumb, but all right. Yeah, you must have a deaf person working on sound, otherwise you're not eligible for an Oscar nomination. You're like, yeah, all right, sure, fine. This is definitely going to hurt the film, but all right. Hollywood. It is what it is. It is what it is. Oh, madness. Madness. Now it says this, it doesn't help that fewer people saw this year's nominated films. What do you mean? I mean, if people didn't see the films, I mean, that's because they're nominating films that people aren't interested in. What an absolute idiot. So they had less of an incentive to tune in. Why does it matter to people anymore? I think the thing with the Oscars is that people used to like actors, right? People used to actually like actors. They'd go to a movie to see an actor. The movie star is dead these days, right? Social media killed the movie star. The ability for a movie star to open their mouth and just spew the biggest pile of detritus you've ever heard in your life instantly to millions of people, genuinely has killed the movie star. It's destroyed all that. And then if people know your true thoughts as a movie star, people don't buy into you. The moment people started to tell that Hollywood was massively against them politically, the moment that sort of rang home and people were like, oh yeah, goddamn, this isn't very good. Like, why do I want to be dealing with these people? There's no incentive. People aren't bought in to watch the Oscars after that. People liked movie stars. They liked the people, and so they tuned in because they wanted to see those people win. They were invested in those people, or what the visage that they sort of created in their mind of what that person was like. And now everyone, there is no false pretenses anymore. People just spew nonsense online, and people go, "Wow, yeah, you're a dick," but all right then. So yeah, it's crazy, to be honest. There is no incentive ever to tune into the Oscars. It says this: unlike the 2024 telecast, there was no Barbenheimer. Then again, this year's Best Picture lineup still had Wicked and Dune Part 2, both box office hits, but neither had the narrative drive of Barbenheimer, nor were they actual serious contenders to win the big prize. Crazy. Says this: even more concerning is the show is losing its core loyal audience, which is the 50 and over crowd. Yeah, you know why, don't you? It's because they die. They die off, and then young people don't care about this stuff anymore. Media have cultivated an industry of, well, the movie industry itself is hyper reliant on long form content, but then most things are sort of primarily focused around now short form content, and these demos don't care. 18 to 35 demo, they don't care. They don't give a shit. They don't care. Oscar nominated movies also just aren't as culturally relevant as they used to be. I wonder why that is. One can remember a time when Best Picture winners such as Gladiator, Titanic, Silence of the Lambs, Forrest Gump, and even A Beautiful Mind were box office behemoths and water cooler topics of discussion. Now, Coda, Nomadland, Anora, these simply aren't films that come close to cracking the cultural zeitgeist. Yeah, well, there you go then. Fact of the matter is that the Oscars have been a downward spiral for at least a decade. I mean, look at this. This is the third least watched ever. That's crazy. That is crazy. Look how bad it got. Quite quickly too. 2021, that was pretty fucking bad. Well, there you go. Anyway, Oscars, they came and went. Who cares? Not you, probably. Not me. They're so irrelevant now. And they made that they did it to themselves. Anyway, what do you think? Take care. Bye-bye now.